Thank you, Steve. Oh my gosh, I'm so honored to be here. And I was just like, I've loved today so far. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you, Christy. I have to tell you guys a little funny story that has nothing to do with skills training, but just because we were talking about masks today, we've got coronavirus going on, right? So I get a call, I get a shout out from my daughter, like comes running downstairs the day that they released the mask promotion, but I don't know this, right? And she's like, Mom, did you get my email about the mask, my text? I texted you. I was like, what? No. And she's like, the mask. I'm like, no, I thought there was maybe a problem with the masks that we were using to protect ourselves. And then she's like, no, the Life Vantage mask. You guys, so much fun, so amazing. You want your face to feel like a baby's bottom. Oh my gosh, incredible. So I'm excited because today I get to talk about my favorite topic, inviting. Now, if you are new, you purchased a business, just like think about you purchasing a traditional business, right? Like a brick and mortar business. If you have yet to start inviting, it's like you have a sign out in front of your store that says coming soon. Inviting is actually the action that you're going to take to open up the doors of your business. And if you already have been in business, but you want to have more locations, like you want to have a larger business, Christy was talking to you about having a vision. Like, what is the vision of your business? It is so important to know what the structure is of what you're doing before you start inviting, because you need to know what you're inviting to. And so if you know what you're doing, then you're going to want to be bigger, right? I mean, if you want to go to Pro 5, you're going to have hundreds of people in your network. If you want to go to Pro 7, it's going to be, even more and more. So what I want to say to you is your inviting is the action that you're going to take to expand your business and to launch your business. And it's not always really comfortable, but it's definitely fun once you keep doing it over and over and over again. So what is your attitude towards inviting? I love inviting. You know why? Because think about when there's a party happening and you don't get invited to the party. Makes you feel bad, right? If you're left out. I got to tell you, I invited some people after I initially launched that were really good friends of mine. I was maybe afraid to bring it up to them at the beginning because we were in another business before. They gave me a hard time. They were like, why wasn't I like at the top of your list, right? So don't delay. I want you to look at your list and I want you to look at the best of the best, because we're bringing a gift. Right? We're delivering, this is amazing. If Life Vantage has changed your life, if these products have changed your life, put something down in the chat, because you guys, this is what we are literally bringing a gift. That's why I love doing this. We get to help people by inviting them. We're including them. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We've made our list. Hopefully you've got a list of 100 to 300 people. If not, that's okay. Keep working on your list if you're going to be a professional, right? And there are going to be two paths that we can take when we're inviting into our business. Now, by the way, this is how I teach inviting. I've heard a lot of people do skills training on inviting. And some of the times when I hear someone teach about inviting or, share what they do, I think to myself, there's no way. Like, you'd have to pay me $1 billion. I don't even know if you could pay me that much money to say that thing to somebody. It's because each of us has our own authentic way that's going to feel really true and amazing for us to invite that way. So take what you want and leave the rest of what I'm getting ready to share with you. I just want to preface it with this, because it's got to be authentic. It's got to be your voice. It's got to be your truth. What you're inviting to and your vision is completely unique, but be 100% all in before you start inviting, so that when you are inviting, no matter which way you go, it's the doors will open up, okay? Like, you will find the grace through this process of inviting, because you'll be in alignment with your true yes, okay? So you're going to make your list, and then you're going to go through your list. The first thing I like to do is, there's two different ways you can go. You can either lead your invite with the business, or you can lead your invite with the product. Now, how do you determine who to talk invite to look at a product or a breakthrough technology, and who to invite to look at the business. I like to ask this simple question by looking at people on my list. I look at the name on my list and I ask this question. I say, if this person ends up seeing this business opportunity like I do, would I like to be in business with them? Would I like to be on this journey with them? And if the answer is yes, I'm going to lead with the business invite. If the answer is no, then, or if I really don't like them, I'm not going to invite them to the business because I own my own business. You guys, we're business owners. We don't have to invite anyone. They get a chance to explore a partnership with us in this business. This is how our posture needs to be. If we're trying to convince someone or manipulate or, it doesn't work. You're going to be doing that the whole time. So I would say, as the CEO of your own business, really own your business. And I know I am 1,000% committed to not offering this opportunity, like enrolling someone who's not 100% in. I'm detached from the outcome, but I'm 100% committed to coming from my heart, being of service, inviting them, and then helping them, my prospect, get whatever information they need to get clarity about whether or not this is for them or not. So that's kind of like the mindset that where I come from. I recommend you take it, because otherwise you're just going to kind of waste your time. Who wants to waste time? And most of the people that build this business, they wear out before they get, like, most people don't have the tenacity. So I like to personally spend a lot of time being like very clear about what I'm looking for, and I keep just sifting and sorting. That's what we're in the business of. We're inviting to sift and sort and to duplicate. And just know that whatever we do, whatever you do when you go to invite, think about it this way. You are actually starting. If this person you're inviting to, say, the business ends up seeing this opportunity like you do, you're giving them their training from the moment you open your mouth to start to invite them. So, and most of the time, one other note, if you're not having the results that you want to have in your business, you can almost always, like over 90% of the time, someone says, I'm frustrated, I'm not getting where I want to go. It's always coming back to the invite, or it's coming back to our mindset. So be thinking about, what is happening inside of you? Are you clear? Because when I started, I was just like, okay, I knew right off the bat, I envisioned this, 10 amazing business partners, because I wanted a really big business. I still want a really big business, right? And I knew, just like if you have a dog, that your dog gets out, your dog starts running around. If it's just me that's going to look for my dog, it's going to take a long time. But if I put some notice out on the listserv in the neighborhood, everybody's going to help, and we're going to cover more ground. And it's the same thing with building this network. If you want a large network, if it's just you talking to one person at a time, it's going to take a lot longer, right? So why not have some help? But you don't have to play. You don't have to go look. You don't have to go, on this journey with anyone who doesn't want to be there. If you wanted to take a trip to a place on your bucket list and you tried to convince someone to come with you and they weren't really into it, they're not going to be happy the whole time, and it's going to be a buzzkill. It's not going to be fun. So be very particular about who you invite to this opportunity, and remember, less is more, okay? So here's just a couple things to keep in mind. Your mouth is not the tool. We're going to use a tool. We're going to invite to see who's open to taking a look at a breakthrough technology or a business opportunity. And we are going to, when I look at the chat again, crazy. Less is more. That's what I was saying. So remember, everything that you say could close someone down. We want people to arrive at getting the presentation or being exposed to this information, being as open as possible, right? I don't know what your past life experience has been. If I say vacuum cleaner, you might come like this, but if I say vacuum, you might be like, I hate cleaning, right? You're already 50% closed down. If I say supplement, you might be, I don't take pills, right? So the more you say, the more shut down someone could be. So you want just someone who's going to be open to taking a look, right? So keep that in mind. Less is more. And from a business perspective, I always want, I'm inviting, because I'm thinking about this big business that I'm building. I'm thinking about it like a big business. I'm not thinking about it like a small little side gig. Now, maybe some people are going to come in and see it as a side gig. That's okay. Because I know to have a big business, there are going to be people who I'm partnered up with in my network that are all across the board. But I know I'm inviting to this big business. So I'm not necessarily letting them know that it's network marketing up front. Not because I don't love network marketing, because I love this industry. I grew up with a mother who's a professional network marketer. I've been full-time in network marketing for 17 and a half years. I love network marketing, but here's the thing. Every network marketing business is as unique as a thumbprint. They're so unique. So I don't want them to think this is like that other thing, because LifeVantage, there's network marketing and then there's LifeVantage. This is something completely different. If you've been in the industry, you know what we have our hands on is ridiculously freaking amazing. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I am going to share my invites. Now, like I said, take what you like and leave the rest. What's important is that you are using something that works for you. Oh my gosh, and Steve, I forgot to see exactly what time I started this, so I'm going to do my best to go as quickly as possible. Let's see, I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you guys can see this now. So here's just, you're leading with the product. Again, these are people that you never want, everybody can benefit from our product. So I wouldn't hold back on sharing this with everybody. The business people, the people you're going to lead with the business, they're going to be the people that you'd like to be in business with. Okay, so for product invite, I say, I've got something I want to share with you. It's a breakthrough technology you need to learn about. When do you have 15 minutes to get in front of your computer? It's going to blow you away, right? Now, I know that they're going to have questions. I want to build their belief around it. If they're open, I'm going to connect them to maybe a closed Facebook product education group. I'm going to connect them to my LifeVantage website, because there's so much, there's so much, our website is phenomenal, right? I'm going to connect them to someone on my team that can answer their questions. So I'm already going to be letting them know when I invite them, how the process, if they're open, how the process is going to unfold, because the person I'm inviting, they don't get to drive the process. I own my business. I'm going to let them know. And if they don't want to, if they're like, well, send me something now or whatever, I'm like, no, you know, like, I don't say that. I'm just saying, like, just hold on to your stuff, you guys, because once you let go of stuff, you've lost your leverage. You've lost your power. So I want to own my business when I'm inviting. I'm the one that gets to decide how the process is going to unfold. Okay. And I'm remembering, I'm giving them a gift by this process, because if they end up seeing this like I do, then I'm starting to train them. Can you guys all go back and think about how you were introduced to this? Oftentimes, if the person who shared this with you wasn't following the quote system or whatever, maybe they talked too much, they were excited, because we're all like that at the beginning, it happens, right? But if that's the case, and then someone says, oh, don't do what I do it this way. It's so hard to break that. It's so crazy. So just know, if you can follow a simple system, then you can teach them. So now, before the business invite, I like to give a couple options. One, you can text somebody first or Facebook message them before you just pick up the phone and call them. But if you're building a big business, I have to say, I like inviting over the phone. If you were going to build any traditional business and any interest or passion that you have, chances are you wouldn't just just send someone a text like, hey, are you interested in exploring partnership with me in a business? Like, no, make it significant by treating it with respect, this business, right? Your posture is everything. So here's one option. You can text, hey, Sue, I've got something exciting to run by you. When's a good time today? Or if you're working, you could say, when's a good time today after 6? Or maybe you have kids that are sleeping, napping between 2 or 3 or whatever. You could say, when's a good time today between 2 and 3 that I can give you a quick 2-minute call? The invite is fast. People say, oh, I'm so busy. I don't know if I have time to build this business. You guys, you can do this invite so quickly. It's crazy, right? So if you don't text first, that's okay. Just pick up the phone and say, hey, Sue, I hope you're doing well. I'd love to catch up briefly another day, but I'm actually calling for a specific reason. I don't have a lot of time. Do you have a few minutes? If it's someone you haven't talked to in a long time, some people get held up here because they think, how can I call someone I haven't talked to since high school or whatever? I want you to turn the tables back around. I want you to think about it. Today, Saturday, you're hanging out and you get a text from someone you haven't heard from in 10 years. And they say this to you. They text you something like, hey, I've got something exciting. Hey, Marci, hope you're doing well. I've got something exciting to run by you. Do you have a few minutes? I can give you a quick call. I'm not going to be like, how weird. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be curious. I'm going to be like, I can't wait to hear. So don't worry. It's not weird. People love to be thought of. They love to be considered. We all do. We all want to be. It's like something innate and part of us and inside of us. Sorry. Okay. So now here's what I like to do. I kind of transition from a short conversation into what I call a transition sentence. That's whatever you've been up to in the form of a question. So let's say you've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 15 years. So you know I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 15 years, right? Or you know I've been a physical therapist, or you know how I've been a business owner for like all my life, right? And they're like, yeah. And the reason I ask this question, I put it in the form of a question. It's not about your whole history. It's just a form of a question because I want them to be present and really ready to hear what I have to say. Then I'll say, well, I was introduced to a business, or I was unexpectedly introduced to a business that blew me away. Now, this is the business invite, right? Now, the point here is don't say blew me away if it didn't blow you away. But express some kind of passion at the beginning. People need to know you're excited about this. They don't know what it is, but you might say, whatever it is for you that you're excited about or that you're passionate about, say it there. So they know, like, I don't know what's going on, but she's excited or he's excited, right? Long story short, or anyway, you need to let them know that you're moving on and why you're calling, because they have no idea why you're calling. You're calling out of nowhere, right? Long story short, I'm in the process of setting up my business and lining up some partners to build it with. And of course, I thought of you. Know in every business invite, there's 3 parts to it. Whatever you do, however you want to say it, you're going to always say the word business. They should never be questioning, like, what are we doing when we made this appointment? You're talking about a business. The second thing is you're going to compliment. There should be something that you're doing that acknowledges that person in particular. You're giving them a gift. You're seeking out them. You're not just putting together a team. There's a reason why you called them. So compliment them. I love to use the Virtues app. If you go to the App Store, you can buy it. Let me just show you briefly just for compliments. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to pull it up on my screen, but just so you can see, these are kind of like some of the words, so I would look at the virtues of that person and write down 3 of them before I call and compliment them. I might say, I thought of you because you're so, here's an example. You're so joyful. You're so determined and one of the most trustworthy people that I know. So would you be open to taking a look at doing something with me? Or maybe you like the third part, which is the active request. Would you be interested in taking a look at doing something with me? Now, one thing I can say when you're doing a business invite, I highly recommend you stay away from like share, the word share. Usually when you say share, I've got something I want to share with you, you're going to end up with a customer. All right. If you have a business prospect, all we're doing is inviting to go on an exploration. We're just going to go check it out. It's not about we don't want to make any judgments. If you make judgments instead of complimenting, meaning you would say something like, oh my gosh, you're into health and wellness. I think you're going to love this. Or I think you'd be really good at this. I think this is something you could need because you said you wanted to make money. That's making a judgment. And anytime you make a judgment versus a compliment, you're actually going to be pushing people away, even though you don't know you're doing this, because they're feeling like they're deciding this for me and I don't even know what this is yet. So you're going to push them away. They're going to psychologically create more space for themselves because they don't feel safe. We want to create safety when we're inviting. So just ask them to be an active participant and exploring, because we're checking them out to see if we want to enroll them and they're checking us out. We're just going to go on a safe journey, right? Exploring to see whether or not this is a good match. So would you be open to taking a look at doing something with me? So would you be interested in taking a look at doing something with me? And then if it's a yes, we're going to go into just letting them know what's going to happen next, right? So then you're going to connect them with some tools. Maybe you're going to, oh, here's something. If you're not really sure if they're really all in, here's an easy way to qualify someone with a very simple invite. Because when you're qualifying, there's only two things you need to know when you're inviting. Are they open, and is the timing right? So here's my special magic question that I love to use. If the right business came along, would now be a good time in your life to take a look? Sam, let me ask you a question. If the right business came along, would now be a good time in your life to take a look? Then you're going to just go from there into whatever system your team's using. Maybe, I think we talked about this, but you're going to let them know how the exploration is going to pan out, right? Maybe it's going to be option one. It's going to be a 3-way call. Maybe you're going to do a pre-recorded overview of the business, and you're going to schedule a time to check in with them after they commit to letting you know when they're going to watch it, right? Or maybe it's going to be a Zoom meeting. Like, what do you do in the evening of June 30th? Nothing. I'm just nothing, hanging out. Okay, one of my business partners is going to overview what we're doing on a Zoom. You could come on from your phone or computer, just check it out, and we can connect afterwards. I'm not sure it'll be for you, but this is big, and I'm excited to explore it together and find out, right? You can say things like, if this is for you, we could have a lot of fun. We could help a lot of people, but I don't know if it's going to be for you. But if it's not, you might know of someone that may help me launch this or may help me expand it in Phoenix or wherever you're looking to expand. So that's the basics of the invite. I can tell you that, a lot of things will come up when you're inviting, when you get to that question. So let me ask you a question. Would you be interested? I'm just wondering, would you be open to taking a look at doing something with me? And they're like, well, can you just tell me about it? You guys, this is a big opportunity. Let's not cheapen it. Let's not try to tell them. Let's say, but don't say no, because that really turns them off, right? Say, I can't wait to. I'm so excited to tell you about this. Here's the thing though, this is really big. It would be like trying to explain how a text message is sent around the world in 2 minutes. So really hard to do. Just trust me, because if this opportunity ends up being something that you resonate, that we're going to do together, how I reveal the information to you, how I kind of lay it out for you is going to become really relevant. It's going to be really important. So I don't want to gyp you. I've got one chance. Just trust me. This is how we want to go. Okay. If they say now's not a good time, just say, understand why. Say, okay, great. Thanks for your honesty. Can you tell me a little bit? Because maybe it's like they just have to finish their dissertation, or maybe they're just got to close on their house or whatever. Then schedule to not go then and invite them to take a look. Let's do it. Let's touch base like in a month or whenever they're ready again. If they say, can you send me something? I would say, I'd love to, but it's however you want to do it. I'm kind of careful about sending out something without having a commitment about when they're going to watch it and knowing when we're going to follow up from the time that I invite. Obviously, people in your cold market, people you don't know that you're going to invite to the business, I've got something, it could be that qualifying question. You meet an amazing guy at the, I don't know, wherever we're going. We're not going too many places. You're in line at the grocery store, right? With your mask on, and or you're on Facebook, and you just say, you seem amazing. I know you're talking to them about what they do. I'm just wondering, like, Sam, do you ever keep your options open for other ways of making money outside what you do as an attorney? Because I've got something that I don't know if it'll be for you or not, but it's something big. Maybe there's a reason we met in line. Are you open to exploring a business? Because I'm in the process of expanding. Something like that could be really, really simple. I've stumbled across an amazing, publicly traded company that's growing, that's expanding, and you seem really sharp. I'm just wondering if you keep your options open for other ways of making money. All right, you guys, I would just say I need to wrap, because I think I've been maybe I'm a few minutes over time, but I am so grateful for the opportunity to be with you. Thank you, Steve, for inviting me. Thank you for all you do. I'm so grateful to all the leadership in LifeVantage, to everyone. If you're new, welcome. You made an amazing decision. We have got our hands on something. that is priceless. And it's going to be up to us to determine how much share of the marketplace that we get as a company, how much share of the marketplace we get as individual business owners. But one thing I know, it's not made for building this business alone. And I'm so grateful for each of your yeses. So honored to be on this journey with you. Have a wonderful day and just keep inviting. Even if you get the no's are great, you guys. Would it be worth inviting 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people to get what you want, to help, you know, shift and change this world? I think so. It's not always comfortable, but it's absolutely worth it. So thank you so much, Steve.